Hi everyone. Today I wanted just to share with you maybe a vision for a new civil society. In the past few years, I think I've been long enough in the game, as they say, to say that I think we're losing a lot of efficiency. And that's why today I wanted to talk a bit about the resilience of the corrupt, how they managed to survive whatever we're doing them. Maybe they're not the ones who are right or wrong. Maybe it's us who are doing it in the wrong way. And that's why this talk is rather a suggestion of how can we survive all this. I've noticed maybe that we got too comfortable. We got too comfortable in the way we do things. We're very predictable. They know our next steps. They know our next moves in a way that for them, it's not really a problem. And then came the internet, and the internet somehow gave us that Slacktivism way of doing things. We got too comfortable. We just share. Likes and shares are the new indicators. We don't care much about the way we do it because the internet will do it for us. And this is some mistake we did do as iWatch. And then I remember we launched this culture of meters. That each time we have a new decision maker, we'll launch a meter. Mahdi Jama, the previous prime minister, then C, the next prime minister, then the president, Sibsi. All these guys, we will put this meter public and tell them, hey, we're watching. And then at first, they were shocked. Who are these kids to dare challenge our authority? Who are they to make us not only be held accountable, but publicly held accountable? But few months after, they developed that resilience to the anti-corruption antibiotics, as they call them, and they figured a new strategy to survive that wave of accountability. And that's why for them, it's like, if we don't do anything about it, people will forget. And these meters became less and less and less efficient. And then for them, they thought that they figured. It's like, now we know how to deal with things. Just let it pass. And the reply we had, surprise, surprise, here's the next one, which is shifting from activism to media. And it's always the network that brings things together. Civil society, journalists, activists, always this connection between all these stakeholders that pushes the agenda of anti-corruption forward. But we said, why we should wait for this collaboration to happen naturally? Why don't we have it inside? And that's why we shifted from activism to journalism. And we started not only hiring journalists, but we only publish our own articles and investigations that created a lot of fuss around them. And again, they needed to reply each time we made those investigations go public. But again, after a few weeks, few months, few years, they developed the same immunity. They know how to survive, and the wave passed. They thought they win. Surprise, surprise. Here's the next thing. Take them to court. Each time we published an investigation, we did not just publish and make it public. Yes, we need to keep the audience aware. We need to make the public opinion aware, but it's not enough. We're not journalists. We are civil society organizations, so we take them to court. And not only that, taking them to court will somehow touch their egos, but it will send a message to people that says, these guys, they're not untouchables. Not only you can take them to court, you will win in court. And we won in court. And then we discovered there's another issue. How can we make those decisions and verdicts be implemented? Impunity is really high, and seeing someone among them go into jail is really hard. And then it became another battle, impunity. So they thought, yes, they can win to court, but cannot implement those verdicts. And again, surprise, surprise, here's the next thing. There are walls outside Facebook. And this is what we forget. There are walls behind the internet, and they're the real walls. And then working with artists, we made all walls in the Capitol covered with these tags. People that don't like this, they think that's vandalism. I think that's art. And we made this message go outside of Facebook to the real walls, and then people not only will read it, they will literally see it each time they move. And that kind of public shaming that really not only embarrassed them, they made everyone question the status quo. Where are these establishments? Where are these guys who are still enjoying their freedom while they are condemned in a court of law? But with that, a few weeks after, whether they will paint the walls or again, there will be the same issue of people forgetting. And the same thing, they would thought they made it, but again, surprise, surprise, here's the next thing. Go back to the streets. And then they corner you, and they think that you are a civil society organization. When they think they know you, you need to always keep being a step ahead. And I think that's the problem with our civil society organizations, what I call you, all of us, the good people. When you are on the right side of history, you make that mistake of being comfortable for defending the right cause. The right cause needs good lawyers, and this is what we are failing to do. And the fact that we are becoming a bit elitist, that we only do advocacy, we only do research, that sends a message to the government. We are not ready to make the sacrifices that need to be made so that we see the change. And that's why we went back to the streets. This is one of the dearest to my heart as picture in all the years I've spent in the streets or in activism, because this is not a movement. This is an NGO. These are people working full-time in NGO, going back to the streets in a way to advocate. When people see that, when people see that you want to innovate, when people see that you want to always be a step ahead, they will follow you. And for me, this was the moment that not only we were few of us, it's become a whole movement that wanted to end impunity. And trust me, guys, that if you want to win in this fight, you got to be a step ahead. While we are part of the establishment now, unfortunately, this is a post-establishment era. When we say post-establishment, it shouldn't be about Trump. It should be about us doing things differently from outside the establishment. That was a question that we failed to answer. Are we an NGO or are we a movement? And I think the answer is clearly now, we're both.